Hey everybody, Brendan here from Wexler's Prime, and I just want to put this video out to discuss the first track called Petrify, which is on the upcoming second Wexler's Prime album called Fossil Constellation, which is out on May 29th on Dystonic Music. And so, kind of the first of these videos, I just want to talk about, kind of what each of the tracks is, the influences, the lyrical themes, kind of some stuff. I'm recording it just to give a little bit of background on the actual song itself. So, first off, this song it's not the oldest song that was written for this album, but it's definitely one of the oldest. I kind of started writing this, I think back in 2012, 2013. I kind of came up with the first intro riff. I was actually at Daniel Bonifilio, who is my constant musical collaborator, and he played on the first Wexler's Prime album. He also has a guest solo on this one, and also my bandmate in Gut Void, and back in Ditum and some other upcoming projects. But I was hanging out with him, and like most time that what we would do is we would just throw in a movie, and each of us have guitars and just kind of noodle around and try to write stuff. And at that time, I still listen to them a lot, but I was listening to Planet X a lot, specifically the Moon Babies album, which I still think is just an absolute masterpiece. And that track Moon Babies was a big influence on this album, especially that first riff, kind of thinking of something kind of rhythmically, but not in a straightforward time, as well as certain other riffs in the song, just kind of having a really jarring, kind of moving forward, synth heavy kind of thing going. That was a big influence and kind of a big factor in what this song became. Alongside that, really heavy influence on Falling into Infinity era Dream Theater, another incredible album, and I think one that's maybe a little overlooked, or more overlooked than it should be. I think that is another absolute masterpiece. But that has a lot of influence on this song and some other songs on the album. And then lastly, and this I didn't even realize, but just recording the playthrough video, for this song, I kind of forgot how much, this will be of no surprise, but Martyr really influenced this song, just in the chords and kind of the, some of the strange harmonies, a lot of the double picking stuff. They're basically in every track that Wexler has ever done. They're all over the place. They're such a massive influence, but they were a big influence on this song. With the musically writing and kind of the riffs and everything. So, that's kind of where the influences came from. With regard to the lyrical themes, really it's about kind of when parents and, older people push their beliefs onto the younger generation or their children, and don't allow those kids to kind of have their own beliefs or make their own set of values or come to their own decisions in life. It's just basically my kind of frustration about that. The fact that whether it be ideological or whether it be social or political or whatnot, just that forcing of your belief system onto someone else, and not letting that other person come to their own decisions. It's just, it happens all the time, and it's really upsetting. And, when I wrote these lyrics, I can't remember what exactly it was, but I was, quite riled up by that idea. And so that was kind of, the pushing factor for what the song is about. You think of Petrify, it's both Petrify out of fear, but also it's a rigidity in, an individual's thoughts or beliefs. And I think it's both the fear from, the person who's having those thoughts pushed upon, being petrified and being kept in one spot, but also the person who's pushing is they're so rigid that they don't have the courage to realize that their beliefs aren't the only beliefs, and that it's okay to have someone, especially someone who's close to them, like a child or a family member, believe in something else. And so that's kind of where the title came from and what the lyrics are about. And I guess lastly, with this song, I recorded it on the standard Wexler's Prime Music Man Super Access Sport that this is on all of the tracks. There's, I think, only one other spot where I used my Agile 8-string, which you'll see on the playthrough, that one little solo, but everything else on this track, and basically throughout the entire Wexler's album, is just this guitar. What I did do was, around this time, I got my 5-string fretless Vadim bass guitar, which you can see over my shoulder, and this is one of the tracks where I got to use that. This is actually the first, I think it was the first song that I had ever recorded with the fretless, and I think it turned out really great. It's interesting, for the guitar, for the most part, on this song, I record in D standard drop C, which is the general kind of Wexler's tuning, but I kept the fretless as D standard. And so I kind of pulled a John Mayung and, had to kind of modify the fingering to play along with the song, which was interesting. It made a little bit of a challenge, but I think it came out sounding really cool. So that's kind of it for Petrify. I hope everyone enjoys it. I hope you enjoy the playthrough, and yeah, keep your eyes out for more updates, and you'll see the next update for the next track in a couple days. All right, everyone, take care.